It's a proud day for Australia, everybody! I really can't even try to be entertaining today. I'm just so... I don't know. Oh, God. So, I've just woken up and hopped on the computer and found out about this nurse in England who has killed herself because of an Australian radio show hoax. You've probably heard about it. You've probably found it, at least if this is recent, that you've just seen this after it's been posted. You probably found it because you've been looking into it. But the basic story is that an Australian radio station, Today FM, did a hoax phone call to the hospital where Kate Middleton was being held with her acute morning sickness, and two of them pretended to be the Queen and Prince Charles calling to ask about Kate's condition, and the nurse who answered put her through to the ward nurse, and the ward nurse released details about Kate's condition that would have been completely, highly classified and completely not allowed to be just given out willy-nilly. And, she made a stupid mistake passing over that information, and I'm not sure if she was the one who passed the phone call across in the first place or if she was the one that gave the details. It doesn't really matter. She obviously made a mistake somewhere along in the process, and she felt so bad about it. And apparently the hospital wasn't reprimanding her for that. The hospital was supporting her and sympathizing with her, basically. She made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. But obviously she felt so much pressure because of the mistake that she's gone and killed herself. And maybe there's more to her life. I don't know about her personal life. I don't know if she was already, sad and leaning that way or whatever. What I am more frustrated with is the radio show. Because this is what a lot of Australian radio stations do. There's a lot of these crazy calls or hoax calls or fake phone calls and stuff like that because it's a laugh, and I've never gotten them. So many of them happen all the time, and I just don't find them funny. Generally they'll just be small time local things. They're never anything as big as this. They don't call a hospital in London and pretend to be the Queen of England. That's not something that they do. They'll call some random person in Sydney or the surrounding suburbs who has been put up for it by their friend or spouse or partner or something like that as a joke, and therefore they'll have details about this person. So it's if they know that person is currently planning a wedding, they'll pretend to be the florist that person has organised for the wedding, calling with some huge problem with the flowers, and will cause this angry phone call because this person is highly stressed, so naturally it's going to be hilarious to play this prank on them. And generally, I'm listening to the radio mostly for the music, and if something like that comes on, I'll listen to it going, come on, quick, get it over with so that we can get back to the music, because this stuff just makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to listen to this person who's obviously already very stressed about the situation and suddenly has to deal with a complication that they didn't foresee, and somebody who's causing trouble on the phone, and they don't just kind of go, oh, here's the problem, and then, oh, well, what about that? Oh, that's good, okay, cool, hang up. They keep on pushing the problem further and further and further and further until the person's exploding, and then finally they'll let them know that it's a fake call. But the whole process is so awkward, and I just feel physically ill listening to it. I've never liked them. I just don't see the point in them, and I certainly don't see the humour in going to something as high as this hospital in London where Kate Middleton is being looked after and being looked after very well, and then feeling the need to just put in their little contribution to society by screwing up this nurse's night by pretending to be the freaking Queen of England. It's stupid. And it's like I can just look at the news reports that are being released by the BBC and in England and just kind of go, my God, like, I'm ashamed to be Australian at the moment, because like so many people over there are like looking at Australia and like looking at them and looking at us more in a negative light now because some idiot radio presenters have put out this prank call that's just fucked up this woman's head. Oh God, it's just, I don't understand the point of the calls. I certainly don't understand the point of that call. It's like, she had 2 kids and apparently seemed like a very kind of happy person, stable and committed to her job, and did really, really well, and now she's dead. So, well done today, FM. What's next? And apparently the presenters are off air for a while, and bloody good thing too, because I would be personally ashamed if I was one of them and I went on radio within a few days of this happening. It's just not good. So it just makes me wonder a bit about the Australian humour, because Australian humour and Australian comedy goes a lot into the kind of taking the piss out of other people and seeing how far you can go with a prank and seeing how far you can push people before they just blow up, and then it's hilarious. And I don't know, maybe I just don't have the Australian sense of humour, but there's a line, like you can kind of like take the piss out of someone and it's funny and it's funny and it's funny, and then there's a line that you cross where it goes, now you've gone too far. And quite a lot of, especially people on radio stations and people in entertainment, like to like leap across that line and see how much further they can go before they're going to get in trouble. And it's like, at that point, I don't find it funny anymore. It loses the comedy and just becomes inappropriate. And it's like, do you really have to go into the bounds of the inappropriate just to, you know, get a headline in the newspapers? Like, I don't know. Anyway, I can't really be entertaining at the moment. I'm soon going to be putting out a video about my coming out experience, and then I'm going to be putting out another video about my atheist experience. I've done a couple before, but I wanted to go more into the mindset of like my mindset as a Christian, and then my mindset now as an atheist, and how that's changed and developed, and what I think when I look back on how I was as a Christian, which hopefully will be helpful for anybody who is currently Christian and questioning it, or who doesn't understand because they've always been atheists, what it's like to have that kind of complete mind turnaround. So I'll see you all soon. Bye.